Hey guys, Ben here and welcome back to another video on Flash Season 6. Today we're going to be doing my trailer breakdown for episode 17. So if you do go on to enjoy the video, please be sure to leave a like and a comment and subscribe if you're new so you don't miss any DC TV videos later this year. So we're mainly going to be talking about the trailer, but also there was something that Grant released on his Instagram page that we need to talk about, and potentially towards the end we might talk about something else, which we'll get to. So let's go ahead and get into this. So the first shot of the trailer, you've got Iris, and this episode is a lot to do with Iris and figuring out who she actually is and if she is our real version of Iris, as this trailer suggests. So she's in, I don't think that's Star Labs, I think that could be at the black hole place, but we'll have to wait and see. Then we move on to the next shot, and over this the voice overlay says something happened to Iris. So Barry's obviously collected together all these hints. Maybe some other people in Team Flash have noticed some stuff. This is going to be the episode where Iris gets exposed. So the next shot, the second shot of the trailer, you get to see Iris. Nash is in the background and Iris is just standing there, presumably talking to Barry. And then we cut to this shot, which is the reverse. So it's shot, reverse shot. Then you see Barry here. They are in the Cortex and he's there with Cecile, and they are definitely confronting Iris as of this scene. So something has happened to Iris, he's noticed, and they go to confront her. And at this point in the same scene, she goes, "For God's sake, I am your wife." And then Barry in reply says, "You are not my wife." So, you know, he's obviously figured it out. He's realized this version of Iris isn't his normal Iris, and something is up, and that is what he's going to be exploring. He's going to be trying to get the real version of Iris back this episode. I reckon by the end of the episode she'll come back. Anyway, so we cut to the next shot. We got Barry looking at her sort of in this kind of smug way, because he knows that, you know, this is not his wife. And then we cut to this next shot. We go over to wherever this is. I have no idea where it is, but it looks like Iris is looking at a version of herself. So I think this could be potentially in the Mirrorverse, and this is our normal version of Iris looking at the sort of mirrored version of herself in the real world, because they are shards of mirrors. So you would have to presume that maybe this is in the Mirrorverse. And you go to Iris, she is looking kind of scared, and this sort of makes sense if you go on to the later shots, which we'll get to in a minute. But Barry and Cecile are figuring this all out. So on the board it says some stuff. So sneaking out at night, how often, and then I can't really make out the other stuff. It says only something, and then something about years. So they are working out everything to do with Iris that has been a bit off. And in the background it looks like maybe they got CCTV photos of Iris. So basically they're investigating Iris. Okay, so then we move on to the next shot. We got Barry. It looks like he's inside his apartment. Maybe he's actually there with Iris. I can't really tell, but it does look like he's in his apartment. But then, talking about what was happening with this version of Iris in the Mirrorverse, you get to see her freaking out. She is going crazy. She's got her hands on her head. She's screaming. She's going nuts. So something is in her head. I'm presuming it's probably Eva and whatever she is doing. And I've got a feeling that Eva's going to turn out to be the main villain of the season. Obviously, we only have a few more episodes after this, but it figures that maybe she will be the main villain, because who else is it going to be apart from the mirror version of Iris? So she is in that room in the Mirrorverse somewhere. And so then we get these sort of flashbacks to the moment that she was taken into the Mirrorverse, obviously by the hands of Eva, which obviously this version of Iris hasn't found out yet, so that's still something that she is yet to find out. But I believe that she'll probably find out this episode if she gets rescued by Barry, because Barry realizes this is a different version of his wife. So the real Iris is out there somewhere is a line that is said, and then right at the end of the trailer, Iris, well, obviously not the real Iris, says, "Fine, you want to see who I really am, I'll show you," which then leads on to some various shots which we'll get to in a minute. But Iris is still freaking out inside the Mirrorverse. Then we cut to Barry looking like he's talking to Iris, or this fake version of his wife, inside of his apartment. So a lot of this trailer is going back and forth between these two locations, so it seems a bit repetitive, but I think it will make sense in the episode. And so we cut to a shot. I don't remember if this is in the past or not. I think Camilla saw this photo on her camera when she was just attacked by Iris with the mirror gun. So someone's got this photo and put it on a tablet and they're showing it, and I think this is Barry. So they've got the photo and he's realized this version of Iris sitting next to Wally is wrong because she's not in a human form. Then we go to Iris inside of her apartment, what it looks like. So this is again not inside the Mirrorverse, so still toying around with Barry at this point. Then we go to Barry's apartment and Barry looks up into the air, his head moves up, and we cut to this shot of a mirror on the ceiling. And so why is the mirror on the ceiling? I don't know. Maybe they've just cut it so it looks like this. Maybe it's on the floor or something, but potentially, I guess, Eva or maybe the normal version of Iris inside the Mirrorverse has the ability to move mirrors around. That could be a thing. So maybe that's why it's there. And Barry is actually attacked. He is cut on his cheek, and it doesn't look like it's from anyone here. I think it could be a shard of the mirror, because if you look to the next bit where it cuts to Barry looking at himself in the mirror just from that same place, he is kind of all torn up, a bit ripped up. He's been attacked, but he looks directly into the mirror, so he's got some sort of suspicion going on to do with what's happening in the mirror. So yeah, I think really Barry is going to find out about Eva. He's going to get the normal version of Iris back in this episode, and the fake version of Iris is going to be exposed as well. So let's move on to the next thing that I wanted to talk about. So Grant posted this on Instagram just a few days ago, and in his post what is seen is a stunt sequence that was originally going to be in episode 20 of season 6 of The Flash, but now is likely to probably not be in the season, and maybe it may be shown in episode 1 of season 7. So this is what he says in the description. Here's a further behind the scenes look at a sequence I teased with a picture right before the shutdown. Sadly, I don't think the episode with this sequence this season because we couldn't finish this episode before the shutdown. Hopefully we'll get it at the beginning of next season, because I had a lot of fun with it, and the stunt department and camera department killed it. Thought a little glimpse could be enough for now, maybe. So that was his comment. So the video that is seen, I will post a screenshot on the screen right now. That's what you're seeing as of this video. Basically, he slides down and he throws the lightning bolt. Obviously, he doesn't throw it in real life, but that is what you would see once this scene was actually done and put through post-production. So he's obviously going some sort of thing, like maybe it's a building or maybe it's an actual ramp or something like that. But anyway, so this would have been like a slow motion scene where he does this, throws the lightning, throws it at someone, probably the main villain, whoever the main villain turns out to be. Obviously this episode is episode 20, which is not going to be seen, but there is the potential for scenes like this and maybe some other cool scenes from episode 20, which they did actually finish, but they thought episode 19 will be a better finale. Maybe we will see these scenes in season 7, say episode 1, or they could save it for some other episodes, but there is a potential that some of the episode 20 stuff could be moved over to a episode 1 scenario. Also, if they've got this footage, they could also show this as part of the trailer, because technically it would be part of the next season, even though they shot it for this season. So they can definitely get a trailer out, I would say, by Comic-Con, even if it's just with footage from episode 20, because it would still be brand new footage that we haven't seen. So I wouldn't really worry about the trailer as of right now. And I do think that they're gonna get back to filming sometime in the summer, so they will probably get back definitely in time so we can get the normal October release date for the premiere episode of The Flash. So yeah, that's about it for this video, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, please be sure to leave a like and a comment, subscribe, and turn on notifications if you are new, and I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye.